What's going on, guys? Mickle here. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys what we have left in the Ripple SEC case. This Ripple SEC case has been going on for a very long time now, and I think it's easy to lose track of everything we've accomplished, but also what we still have to tackle. There are a ton of pending motions built up in this case that are waiting to be ruled on. In this video, I'm going to be outlining all of them for you and show you guys what we should expect to come next in this case. I believe analyzing this will give us a better idea of when this case could possibly end, because this will allow us to see what major decisions both parties are still waiting on. This case has been going on for a while, and this thing is not going to be ended until we have answers for the biggest issues in this case. In this video, we are going to be going over all of this. If you guys are new to this channel or come here all the time, make sure to like and subscribe. It is such a good way you can help this channel for free and means so much to me. If you guys do not have an Uphold account already, make sure to sign up using the link in the description below. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So guys, like I said, this case has been going on for a very long time now, and despite the fact that Ripple has gotten a lot of major wins, they've won some big battles, the war very much still rages on, and Ripple still has some huge battles ahead of it. Hopefully, after analyzing some of these dates and these upcoming pending motions, you guys will have a better idea of what the two parties are waiting for before this case is ended once and for all. This information is courtesy of James K. Filan. He's one of the lawyers who has been following this case. I am so thankful for everything these lawyers have been doing. They've been making a lot of this very complex legal documents and legal jargon a lot more digestible for all of us. They have made me significantly more confident in Ripple's chances to win this case or ultimately get a very favorable settlement. So thank you so much to all the lawyers, and let's jump right into this. So this is the updated schedule status as of March 12th, 2022. Right here, we are awaiting several discovery-related decisions that hopefully will be issued soon. Also, the recent decision to deny the SEC's motion to strike Ripple's lack of fair notice defense, affirmative defense, and individual defense motions to dismiss the SEC's first amended complaint have triggered other actions and deadlines. So this is what we need to be paying attention to now, and these are the major rulings that are yet to come down the pipeline. First of all, the DPP fight, the motion for partial reconsideration of Magistrate Judge Netburn's deliberative process privilege opinion and order. So that sounded like a lot, but essentially what this is the emails from Bill Hinman. We know the SEC did a 180 on their position here. Originally they were saying it was all Hinman's personal opinion, we had nothing to do with it. The SEC didn't like the implications of that after they argued it to the court, because they realized suddenly they were going to have to hand over a lot more information than they thought they were originally going to. So now they did a 180 and they're trying to go back to the court and say, wait, whoa. We changed our mind. Actually, we think it was SEC guided. So we are still waiting to see what Judge Netburn says about this, and there is no doubt in my mind that this is a huge ruling for both of these parties. If we take a look at when we expect this to happen, we see that assuming that the SEC is also going to appeal this, which I think is very probable, because I think the SEC's main weapon they have left is simply time. I think they're going to appeal everything because it's going to force Ripple to put a settlement more in favor of the SEC, because Ripple is going to be more desperate or more incentivized to end this thing, because they are going to be sick of having the brakes put on their business model in the US. With that said though, we expect this decision, after all the appeals are done and after the SEC is done playing their little games, to be around April. This makes me think that the settlement talks will really start ramping up around April, when this massive decision is finally made. We're also waiting on the motion to compel the turnover of the Estabrook notes. This has also been fully briefed, and we are waiting on a decision from Judge Netburn. So these notes have to do do with a meeting between Brad Garlinghouse and Elad Roisman. In this meeting, Elad Roisman specifically told Brad Garlinghouse that he didn't think XRP was a security, and he actually felt bad for Brad Garlinghouse that he had to keep coming to the SEC because ultimately Elad Roisman thought the entire thing was ridiculous and thought it was unhealthy that Ripple was living in this internal purgatory where they were not getting any clarity on the status of XRP. If that sounded extremely damning to you and put the entire SEC lawsuit into question with its motives, well, you would be right. What Brad Garlinghouse and the reason Ripple wants these notes is because this would essentially put a massive hole in the SEC's entire thesis behind this case. Ripple wants these notes because they believe these notes are going to do a lot to show the judge that the SEC has been making it up as it goes and were never even that convinced of their case to start with. We do not know yet if the SEC is going to have to turn over these notes to Ripple, and we are waiting on this decision. Clearly, this is going to have a massive impact on the case for both parties, and if Ripple gets these notes, then it's likely going to make the settlement even more favorable for them. So likely, Ripple would actually want these notes to be turned over before they were driving any serious settlement talks, because they could really favor their side of the settlement. I also think it's very important to point out that even if Ripple doesn't get these notes, the judge has still already seen them, so I don't think the SEC is going to be too confident going to summary judgment when the judge herself has seen how absurd the SEC has been acting in the past. Let's keep moving though, and we don't really know exactly when this will be ruled on, but I've seen a couple people saying this should be ruled on in the next couple weeks, so it looks like the decision regarding the emails is going to happen later, and April is still the latest we were really seeing for some of the main decisions. We also have the DPP appeal to the Second Circuit. So what happens here is if the SEC actually keeps on appealing this DPP decision, and that has to do with the emails mostly, it could end up going to another court. Now, many people have said this is highly improbable. I think this was just put in there because if the SEC was to do this, it could add even more time. But from everything I'm seeing from the lawyers, it seems like this is not something that we should really be factoring in to our timetable thus far. So another massive thing we have coming up is Ripple and their individual defendants' motion to strike the supplemental and expert rebuttal report. So behind the scenes, one of the biggest things both parties are talking about are whether Ripple's actions actually impact the price of XRP in a significant way. Us XRP holders know it's actually been a meme forever. Whenever Ripple does anything great, nothing ever happens to XRP. So I don't see how the SEC is going to win this argument, and it's actually pretty funny because they were actually supposed to be done discussing this behind the scenes, and the SEC in this motion decided to submit a note to the court almost months late after it was already due and said, oh, by the way, we want to add some more evidence, likely because they got beat up so badly behind the scenes trying to prove something that never existed. XRP never pumps on Ripple news, and we all know this. So the judges has to rule on whether she's going to allow this extended information into the case. I do not think she is going to. The judge has been very strict thus far about going against the rules, and it already seems like the court is getting very sick of the SEC's delay tactics. You need to understand there's no way the judges want this thing to go on forever either, and they are likely going to get very annoyed. The SEC is the party that brought this case, and they are doing everything they can to delay it. They had countless times to investigate Ripple and bring this case when they are ready. Yet they are completely unprepared. They are on defense because all their claims are so weak, and they are yet to bring any substantial evidence to prove their claims. For that reason, I do not believe this is really going to be a factor. I think this evidence gets thrown out, and I think at the end of the day, as Jeremy Hogan said, there is no way they are going to prove objectively that Ripple's business announcements or Ripple's activity drastically impacts the price of XRP. We know XRP is correlated to the rest of the crypto market, and mostly just Bitcoin. Let's keep moving though, and we also have the recent decision by and these are recent decisions by Judge Torres. These are things that already happened, and there isn't too much to break down here, but one thing that is really interesting is the fact that because Ripple's fair notice is allowed to live, the SEC has to respond to 776 requests for admission due to lack of fair process. So I don't entirely know everything behind this one, but it looks like essentially because Ripple is being accused of these things by the SEC, and Ripple's now going to be allowed to argue to the court the fact that it was never given fair notice, the SEC is going to have to answer a bunch of questions posed by Ripple, and it looks like they're going to have 30 days to do so. Unfortunately, based on this, it doesn't look like we're ever going to see these publicly, but those should be available around April 11th. Now, I think the SEC is going to provide Ripple these answers. Based on what the SEC has done in the past, it seems like what they like to do is just provide a whole bunch of really bad answers and then force Ripple to try to get more information out of them to further delay the case. The SEC's desire to keep extending this case really stems from the fact that they have not brought any convincing or significant evidence to the table in this case. And the little evidence they have brought has been countlessly struck down by the judges, and many times the judges say that is completely irrelevant and they won't even look at it. Now, because of this, the SEC has been doing very little to pressure Ripple. Therefore, the only thing they really have is to extend this case and force Ripple to keep burning their money and just essentially annoy them and drag it out. So hopefully at the end of this, Ripple might settle to some lesser terms simply because they want it over with. Time is all the SEC has, and unfortunately, that's not that great for us, but I think at the end, the judges will get sick of this, and we will see this speed up towards the end as the SEC gets more and more desperate. I think the courts are going to catch on and kind of realize that they aren't delaying because they have any substantial evidence to add. They are just trying to harm Ripple with these delays. Now, that covers all the really important stuff. We still have some deadlines in terms of summary judgment. I do not believe we are going to make it to summary judgment in this case. Everything we have seen thus far makes me think is it extremely risky for the SEC to go to summary judgment, and they are going to get a much better deal by settling with Ripple. Like I said, time is the SEC's only weapon. With that said, it's the only bargaining chip they have left. All they can really do now is tell Ripple, hey, we'll make this shorter, we'll stop using our weapon against you if you agree to this, this, and this. Likely, Ripple's going to pay a fine, there's going to be some statement that says something about their past sales of XRP, and then they're going to be good to go selling XRP, and XRP will be the only compliant cryptocurrency by the SEC in the United States. You guys have no idea what that's going to do for the price. Last of all, I wanted to read this. What this all means is that we still have some ways to go here, but the progress, albeit slowly, is being made, and the decisions on the motion to strike and dismiss were important milestones. So it looks like, based on everything we've seen, we're likely going to see this wrapping up at the end of the summer or in the fall time, worst case scenario. That looks like when summary judgments will start being drafted, and that's when all the evidence will be on the table. With that said, though, a lot of these motions will be ruled on behind the scenes, so I think it's important to understand that I believe the settlement talks are really going to be picking up around April, and that's when things are really going to get to a territory where they could be settled any day. I do not think it's really likely that the case settles right now because these parties have already come all this way. They are not going to settle this thing without seeing all the evidence. With that said, though, I really hope you guys enjoyed this update. I really hope it was helpful. If it was, please leave a like and subscribe. It does so much to help this channel grow. It means so much to me. With that said, though, I hope you guys have a good day, and for now, Mickle out.